Whoops.
What?
How do you undo stuff in Notes? Can you? I definitely just messed it up. Dang. Let's see if it's still here. Oh, no. All right.
Balls are back.
Yeah, they had us the first half, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, could be Wayne!
I think I got my swagger back. Oh!
I love it, baby!
Them orange britches. Something about them orange britches. Tennessee wins! Out of by Tennessee, Jawan Jennings. Jennings makes the... Stand by for you, have 6 men!
We just won a basketball game, and we're very happy right now. Sir, you found a way, okay? All right, now, what I tell you, okay? All right, this decade is going to be the decade of the Vols. You got it? Yes, sir.
Reddit did to do, and welcome into More Important Issues. It is Sunday, December 20th. I'm still holding out hope that maybe it will be the decade of the Vols. Decade of Vols basketball?
Yeah, maybe that's what he meant.
Maybe so. Maybe he was calling it. Maybe he was calling his old peer Rick Barnes shot.
You do what you gotta do.
Vols are going bowling. 2 years in a row, bowl eligible. Landon's got the bowl shirt out.
Got it. Yep.
I don't like that. I feel like I'm making fun of ours. Like I don't. It's tough, man.
I mean, what else?
Here's the only, I guess, kind of like redeeming quality about the bowl game, and it'll probably frustrate some people. But you have, and I know, you have the chance to go out and win another football game. Like you have a chance to go compete. I mean, it won't salvage the season, but will at least. I don't know. I think with what Vols have been through, though, the Vol fans have been through, I don't think it'll make fans feel better even if you play well.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, too.
I could be wrong, maybe, and I'm sure
I think as a program standpoint, you have to play the bowl game if you get a bid.
Yeah, well,
but for the fans, like, how can you really be excited about playing West Virginia in a Liberty Bowl at 3-7?
Right. And I would guess there's probably something in, like, SEC contracts and stuff, if you get that. I doubt, with how much money the SEC can make off, I doubt SEC teams will be able to not accept that bowl bid.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
So, I mean, I don't think it's really so much of Tennessee's control.
I think Greg Sankey's actually said that, like, every team that gets a bowl bid will...
Okay. Except for the ones that have imposed self-bans to get coaches out of FBI's trouble.
What a great year to do that. That's what we should do.
I thought, when this investigation comes up, and there's still time to see if that'll have effects and what that'll, because no one really knows exactly what's going on. You just know that there's an internal investigation from the compliance office, from the general counsel, and maybe the NCAA involved. But there's really, depending on when that started, sounds like from what Trey Wallace of Fox Sports Knox said, that started in as early December. Mm-hmm. So the ball's really not gotten rolling on that yet. Don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if Eric Gray and Brian Maurer were out for that reason. That is speculation. And in Jeremy Pruitt's post-game press conference, he said that they've never said when people are out due to COVID. Is that true? Has it always been speculation? I thought we've known when people were out due to contact tracing or COVID.
He said after the fact that guys have been out due to COVID.
Okay.
Like he said, I think Wanya Morris was out for a long time.
Gotcha.
Due to contact tracing and stuff like that. So he has brought it up after the fact, but I don't think he specifically said after a game he was out due to COVID.
Okay, so I don't know what to believe. I mean, I don't know. It's okay, yeah. So we don't know if it's an Eric Gray, Brian Maurer issue. We know there's at least one coach involved. That's been speculated to be Brian Niedermeyer. But it's all connecting dots. There's nothing super sound out there other than there's an investigation going on. That's really the only known thing as far as I've read. Have you read anything different? Have you heard anything different?
No, I just think like it just feels like the writing's on the wall that it just seems like there's going to be a coaching change. I mean,
right.
Do I know that for sure? No, I don't think anybody does at this point, but I think all signs are pointing to that's where it's headed. I mean, the game yesterday was terrible, but that wasn't even the storyline yesterday. The storyline was the investigation.
And I think with that news of that hitting during the game, you've got the Vols just had a bad season. Even National Signing Day, when you signed a pretty good class on Wednesday, people that care right now, the problem is fans are apathetic. So like National Signing Day didn't change anyone's mind. It didn't turn any heads. It didn't.
No, because you had those before the season.
Right.
So
it wasn't anything new. But it does feel like writing on the wall. Someone just said, what about Fulmer's statement? That was Volfan 106. What about Fulmer's statement? Yeah, I mean, Fulmer's statement sounds like it's going to be Pruitt. But are we to believe Fulmer? I mean, or is that just coach speak?
But is it Fulmer's decision? I mean, that's part of it too. Like, the boosters at Auburn, they make all the decisions. It's not the AD. So, I mean, here I feel like it's kind of the same thing. Fulmer has probably his say, but if they come above him and it's just like, hey, we're going to pay for this buyout, and it's you or him, I mean, he's going to be like, okay, I'll go fire him right now.
Right. But, I got to think if Pruitt's out because of the boosters, then Fulmer's out. And if that's the case, maybe so. I don't know. Here's my thing, and a lot of people are gonna go, do you fire Pruitt the day he's had a death in the family? He's at that funeral today. Do you fire him today? You probably fire him last night if that's the case. Do you wait till Monday?
But then you have to wait because this whole investigation that's the key right now is like you could get out of this buyout, and if you can, you have to play that out. So. But I'm with you. If you're going to make the change, go ahead and do it. But if they're trying to save that $13 million or $60, whatever it is,
let's also be pretty. Firing Pruitt right now is not like firing a guy who has a $65,000 salary a year, whose wife just lost his job last week. Like, the man's probably going to get $12 million if he's fired.
Oh yeah.
So like a lot of people are acting like this. They don't want to hurt his feelings today. Guys, his feelings ain't going to be hurt that bad. He's a competitor. He's probably going to be like, I didn't do my job. But you're not ruining someone's life.
No, I agree.
Yeah. And it sounds like Fulmer gave him the vote of confidence. Now, you may be right. There may be boosters. But here's the thing. When boosters get involved, I think it's gotten probably... It's not good.
No, it's not.
Ever. Like, I don't know. I think that probably means you're in another at least 3-year cycle of bad.
Yeah, but I think it's gotten to the point where the fans have seen enough, and now the boosters have seen enough.
You saw reports that there are a bunch of them in town. We'll see.
Yeah, so
who knows?
I'm still kind of like where I'm indifferent about it. If they fire him, I would definitely understand because I think he probably deserves it any other year. But if they let him play out a year, I'm kind of interested to see what it looks like with a different quarterback.
And here, so we've been talking about, with this year could be different for COVID. And then people point, and again, I'm asking, I'm not saying get Pruitt another year because of COVID, because of the way the year's gone. I'm just asking, do you think Pruitt is in a different situation than Derek Mason, Gus Malzahn, and then Will Muschamp? Or do you consider them in the same? Because those guys, they were, I would argue all three were on the hot seat before this year started. Pruitt, while fans don't think he deserved the extension, was far from being on the hot seat.
Yeah, I can kind of agree with that. Okay. Yeah, I think it's definitely different, but we've seen a different side of Pruitt this year than the past 2 years. I mean, he's been a completely different coach. His press conferences have been a lot different with the excuses and stuff like that. I just feel like he never wanted to play this season. You know, he wasn't given the full time he thought he needed to get prepared for this season. And when it started, it just seemed like he was uninterested and
it probably would
not looking forward to it.
Probably would have worked out better in his favor had this year not played out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That was the worst thing that Tennessee football could have had happen to him was we played the season out.
Yeah. Yeah. Caleb Horner just said, the last 3 games show you what it will be like with a new QB. I think if Pruitt, the record is the same. Now, here's the thing. Here's what really upsets me personally. The losses suck. The losses really suck. Mm-hmm. But if they're not by double digits and they're with a younger QB, I think you can ride off at least part of the year to inexperience.
Absolutely.
To guys learning. But you're talking about a 5th-year guy. You're talking about double-digit losses to all 7 opponents that you lost to. It's unacceptable. Yeah. It's unacceptable. And someone said I would put Pruitt and Malzahn in the same bunching. I mean, Gus has just been. It seems like the last 3 years.
Gus is
that they've been talking about him potentially being fired.
He's Mark Richt, and the only reason why he's stuck around at Auburn is because he ends up beating Alabama.
Yeah.
When they're about to fire him, he beats Alabama. So.
Yep, I mean, that's true. Yeah, this year you get beat by 24. Someone else just said fire him. I believe what Pruitt said this year about Jimmy Brumbaugh, personally. Mm-hmm. If it ain't working, cut ties.
Yeah.
Because, and another thing too is I think if right now there was a coaching change, I think the roster would be in a lot better position than it was when Pruitt took over in late 2017 and then going into 2018. I don't know if that roster would be better at the end of next year. Because right now I'm assuming, I think a lot of people want him to do better. I want him to do better. But if he's here around next year, I have no reason to believe that it's going to get better. At best, I believe it stays the same. And when it stays the same, when it's this bad, it gets worse.
I agree. I have that written down. I think from a roster standpoint, this team is far better than when he took over. Mm-hmm. Anything other than that, I don't have any real proof that he's really improved any.
Right.
Other than the roster. And then it looks like you've cheated to get those people. So that
right.
makes you look terrible.
Yeah. And someone, Bill Peake, just said, can't use COVID as an excuse when you lose to a first-year coach at Arkansas. No. I'm not saying COVID is the excuse. I'm just saying, does the COVID year mean something different to guys who weren't already on the hot seat coming in? That's all I'm asking.
Yeah.
Does it mean something else for that? And I agree, Pruitt probably bypassed his hot seat year by going 3-7, double-digit losses, and you're right. When he's had to talk to the media, it's not been the same Pruitt. And I'm not saying I hate the media. I hate the media after games, that crap, just because I've never seen a coach win a job in the press conference.
No.
If any, like, you've never left a game after a loss and gone, I'm happy we have this guy. So it's just dumb to even, I don't know. Obviously, you want coaches to answer for some of the mistakes they made, but they never do. So what's the point of them?
Right.
What's the point of them? Yeah, it's annoying.
I mean, the mistakes are there. It's evident. It's obvious.
Yeah.
The Tyson Helton, terrible mistake. Jimmy Brumbaugh, obviously, was a bad mistake because, I mean, he gave him a 2-year deal, and then in the middle of the 4th game?
Yeah.
Just fired him. So, I mean, that was a mistake.
Yeah.
The QB situation, mistake. And I think you mentioned it when it came out that the assistant coaches were not taking the pay cut. That was going to be a highlight.
Yeah,
of Pruitt's down.
It just felt like it started right then. Like, you're on your way out right now. Mm-hmm. And there's stuff like that for every coach. I think at the same time for Butch Jones, the Jalen Hurts situation and the Title IX starting up was the writing on the wall. That happened. You're like, it's done. That was the end of his run right there. Yeah. And then Vanderbilt loss should have been the final act. It unfortunately wasn't, but it should have been the final act. And then for Jeremy Pruitt too, the seniors, last year's team helped him get off that hot seat talk because it was definitely on after Georgia State and BYU. We said it in February of last year. You forgive Pruitt for that because the way you bounce back, but you never forget. Like you were told that, so you don't forget it. You gotta remember those losses now. When you're going, all right, let's look at the good. You can't just look at the good he's done. You also got to look at what else has happened. And then the Georgia State and BYU loss, unacceptable. We don't forget them. They're a part of this. Why are we thinking about getting rid of you? You don't just get to forget those losses because of a 6-game win streak to finish out the year. If you went on the 6-game win streak to finish out, you go 5-5 this year, 6-4. Sure, those losses aren't even. They're fine. We're good. But the fact that you went 3-7, those Georgia State and BYU losses are absolutely ammunition to use because you didn't completely bounce back from them. Apparently, you lost to Kentucky by 20, whatever it was,
At home.
At home, you lost to first-year coach in Arkansas with. And I'm not saying Arkansas is one of the worst teams to play in the SEC this year, but the last 2 years, one of the worst teams to compete in the SEC.
Yeah.
That's
a team who did not know how to win in the SEC, and you let them win.
Your third win this year was a scrimmage against Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
It was.
I just go back to Pruitt's opening press conference when he got the job. He said, I'm going to be judged on Florida, Georgia, and Alabama. And we haven't gotten any closer to those teams.
No.
None whatsoever. I mean, maybe in recruiting, but they've had better recruiting classes than we have, or the same. Maybe the same. Maybe Florida's had kind of similar.
Yeah.
But they've had better quarterback play, and they're beating us by double digits every year.
And,
so you haven't really. The gap is still there.
The gap is still there, and recruiting will never tell the full story, ever. The full story is in the wins and the losses,
especially this year.
It's a tiny chapter.
Especially this year, like. Yeah, we had a number 2 class at one point.
Yeah.
But like the evaluations weren't there. Kids weren't able to go to camps. So I wouldn't look at recruiting a lot this year.
Yeah.
And Pruitt with recruit that was his thing. He's a great recruiter. He's going to hire good recruiters. Niedermeyer, it looks like
to be determined.
He gave and he took.
But I think he gave more, honestly. To the player.
Absolutely. Yeah, just handouts.
I'm sorry. That was a bad joke because we don't know anything to be true or false yet. Sorry. I apologize.
Your top recruits that Pruitt's brought in, Wanye Morris, Darnell Wright. Wanye Morris is an extra tight end right now, wearing number 23. Darnell Wright looks no better than he got when he got on campus.
The roster seems to be mismanaged, so it doesn't matter about the talent you get in.
Right. So, I mean, who else do we know who mismanaged the roster?
Correct.
So
correct. Someone mentioned, I don't know about the BYU loss. Sorry, I don't know whose name that was that pulled it across because BYU still looked to be good. But Tennessee lost that game. They had it won. They lost it. And even after the blown coverage, whatever, you can blame it on one guy, whatever, you still had a chance to win in overtime and couldn't do it. So you lost that game. Mm-hmm. So no, I think you should have. I think it should have been one period, end of story.
Yep.
You can argue BYU's a good football team, but it's like Florida in 2017. They were probably better than that Tennessee team. But you lost because you couldn't defend a 65-yard Hail Mary pass. It's inexcusable. So,
and you're a DB guru, and our DBs haven't gotten any better. I mean, they're terrible on third down. Absolutely terrible. And you haven't recruited a great DB. Alontae Taylor was an athlete. He played quarterback in high school. Bryce Thompson, I think he was an athlete. He played kick returner and wide receiver. So you can't tell me that you haven't recruited, you haven't gotten a great DB since you've been here. And you and Derek Ansley are supposedly DB whisperers.
And the linebacker issue too, and I understand a lot of its depth, but your starters aren't great outside of one guy right now. And Crouch has played better the last couple games. I'm sorry.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yes. But other than that,
but it's games where people are running the football. If they're passing, he's lost.
That's true. That's fair. Oh man, it's tough. All right, we know how we feel about Pruitt. We'll still stay into it, but let's really get the show started. We're talking football loss to A&M. They will be going to a bowl game. We'll talk about that. Going to the Liberty Bowl. I'm sure Tennessee fans will still fill it up a little bit. Talk a little bit about the Pruitt situation farther. And then we'll be happy. We'll be happy for a little while. We're going to talk some basketball. Don't worry. We will be. We'll be in a good mood. Hope you guys stay around for that. College football recap, fan questions. If you got them, drop them in. We'd love to chat. Chris, thank you for all your questions. We always appreciate it. I see someone, player development is at Butch Jones level. It's hard to disagree right now because you're not winning games. Yeah. So it's hard to disagree right now.
I agree.
You're winning. You're not winning games. And then, of course, we got our most important and fail of the week.
Guys, go check out our sponsors, Hound Dogs, Tennessee Tap House, and Blue Water Climate Control. It's getting cold. So go check out Blue Water Climate Control for all your HVAC needs. Like Caleb said, drop your questions in the chat. I'm on Facebook. He's on Twitter and YouTube. Let's get it going. Also, tell us where you're listening from. Big geography guys.
Big geography guys. Someone said if Trey Wallace ran with that story in Alabama, he'd be dead in a ditch somewhere. I'm not saying Saban's got his own mafia, but I'm also not saying Saban has his own mafia. So, and you know what? Let's talk about that. Because I don't know if this is a hot take. Well, okay. I think the guy who said it is coming from a place of jealousy. So I think it's wrong in how it was delivered. Because I agree that when someone drops that info, if it was an inside person that dropped any info, that's a leak. Like that is the definition of a leak.
You're right.
And I agree that if someone's willing to drop that info, it probably means their belief in what's happening in the program, they have little belief in it. So I agree with that part, but I also disagree with where it came from. I think it came from a place of jealousy. Trey Wallace seems like he covered his bases, and he should have ran with the story if he did.
Absolutely.
So
yeah.
I have no problem with him running with the story. Great job by him. Was the timing odd? Sure. But if that's when he got the quote from UT, if he gave them ample amount of time, and that's when they responded with the quote, run with it. Mm-hmm. That's on them. So I have no problem. I like Trey. I think he does a good job. The guy that said it, I think he does a great job of covering UT sports. I think he has bad opinions.
Wait, who's that?
The person who said about how it was a toxic environment at UT.
Yeah.
And he's probably right. It probably is a toxic environment because you're losing.
Yeah.
People don't want to be a part of losing.
Right, yeah. What program is peppy and, wants to go to work every day when you're 3-7? Not a single team, ever.
Nope. So Tennessee loses to A&M. Someone said, Voldemort asked, Dan Harrelson quote from Phil convinced you Pruitt is coming back. Yep. Unless something changes with the investigation. And I kind of said that at the beginning of the year, outside of a scandal, I don't think Pruitt gets fired. That was before we went 3-7. But I have been saying that all year. Outside of a scandal, I really do think.
But maybe is that investigation that counts as a scandal?
Yeah.
Oh,
okay, for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know where this, but it just seems like you have media members fighting with other media members. You have.
I feel like it's always happened in Knoxville.
Yeah, but you have outlets saying, we were right all along and stuff like. It just feels like the coaching search is bound out.
It's heating up, baby.
Yeah, it's like
it's heating up. We got a question here. What has improved under Pruitt? I think again, it could change if you hang on to him for too long. I think the roster is at a better spot than it was in 2017 in terms of the talent you have in here.
Yeah, and it's a lot of younger talent.
Right. I don't know if.
But I mean,
is that it? Is that all you're willing to say?
Toa, like those Jalen Hyatt, those guys. The
quarterback
are
room.
Studs. Yeah.
The quarterback room will be strong next year.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Now, were they great yesterday? No. But they didn't throw a pick six.
Oh, man.
So you want to get into
I agree, Bill Peake. I agree. I agree. I think the place he came from was jealousy, but I think in a way he was right. But at the same time, when you come from that place, you're probably always going to be wrong. So, Vol Twitter is having a meltdown. I imagine it is popping off right now because of Philip Fulmer's statements. Because I think right now it sounds like Tennessee is not going to look another direction. And I'll say, I don't think that's the right decision. I don't think it is. Regardless of investigation, scandal or not, I think it is time to move on from Jeremy Pruitt. I like Jeremy Pruitt. I think he's going to be a good defensive coordinator wherever he ends up after this. Probably, unfortunately, in the West.
It just looked... from this third year, it looked like being a head coach was too much for him.
Yeah, from a football standpoint, I just don't think he's getting the job done, and it's time to part ways.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
And you know what? It is based on wins and losses. That's what you get graded on. So, I'm sorry. It sucks. It is what it is.
Not good.
So
when you're getting compared to to Butch Jones on ESPN, there's a graphic of it, and your stats are worse than his, yeah, it's time to...
So, Strikerval said, well, the scandal is to show cause to fire Pruitt and not have to pay that buyout he has. That could be the case, but with Philip Fulmer's... And I haven't seen the full quote. I saw the Dan Harrelson snippet before we started the show. But from that quote, I'm assuming right now it means he'll be back. And again, that is assuming nothing blows up. If it blows up, it blows up.
And I think Fulmer's at a weird position because if he does fire him, he admits that he made a bad hire.
See, but here's the thing about that. I think as an AD, you get the opportunity to hire and fire. I think if you fire at the right time, I don't think it's admitting you necessarily are like wrong. It's just saying we didn't get it right. Like we're not there yet. So I went with a guy I believed in. We trusted what he brought to the table when we interviewed him. He got us going in the right direction. We just don't think this program's in a place to take the next step. We're going to part ways and find the next guy. Like, I think you can do that. And obviously, you're wrong. I mean, he was wrong about the guy.
Right.
But I think if he fires him at the right time and he makes the next hire, he makes it a good hire, then it doesn't matter. Because you got rid of him at the right time before it all went to shit, and then you went and made the next hire. So, yes, you could go, well, he was wrong about him, but it's always...
But the next hire has to hit.
Right. I mean, yeah, it just has to get better, I think. Like, You can't go back. You can't go deep into despair.
Correct. Yeah, you can't be stagnant.
Right.
You have... Yeah, something has to...
Something has to get better. And again, I think it's if you get rid of him at the right time. We're good. Like, we're good. We just got it. There's got to be progress there. It can't go the other way. And, of course, it's always going to be, is it right and wrong? Because that's just the way the business is. But... I think if you get rid of them at the right time, you give yourself a chance to get better. I don't know. If the next hire needs to come from the powers that be above Fulmer, then you gotta get rid of Fulmer. If Fulmer can't get the job done, you gotta get rid of him. I love Coach Fulmer. I think he's done a lot of great things for the University of Tennessee. I think he continues to give his all for Tennessee. Is Philip Fulmer living in the 90s? Yeah, it seems like he might be old school. Maybe the old school thing is to ride with your guy. We're going, and that's the old school thing. And I think there is, there's something to be said for stability. But if that stability is not good stability, or if it's not,
if it's not meeting the standard, it's time to move on.
He want. I mean, everybody talk. I mean, you want it with your quarterback. You want Pruitt to look at that quarterback and go, "I believe in you. We're going to ride with you." You want your AD to look at your head coach and go, "We believe in you. We're going to ride with you." But at the same time, when it's not working, it's not working.
Yeah, and you also can't do what Jeremy Pruitt
right. You can't hang on too long.
Yeah, and just keep on until people are just done. Yeah. Can't do that.
No. Oof.
I just want to win. There's nothing like Tennessee fans deserve a lot better than what they're given.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, yesterday was a sad sight at Neyland in terms of fans. There were not 25,000 people there.
No.
You brought in a college football playoff contender who should be in the college football playoff. I guess we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Typically, no matter the season that's having that, you're going to show up with 90,000, 100,000 people there.
People are done.
And you couldn't even put 25,000 in the same. And I know it's a 25,000 limit. But I mean, you think a normal year, if you go, hey, we can only let 25,000 in, they're gonna put 25,000 there. And it wasn't even close.
Yeah, and it doesn't look good because that's after a win, too.
That's true.
It's after a win. You're thinking, maybe we could upset this team. Even, like, some years, like, Alabama's coming to town.
You still put
but you have that, stand, man. You have that thing, we could win today.
Yeah.
But yesterday,
there's not
Tennessee, yeah, Tennessee fans didn't think they were going to win. I didn't think they were going to win. I picked them not to win.
I tried so hard to talk my way into it. I tried. I couldn't do it.
No.
I couldn't do it.
Nope.
Let's talk about that game a little bit. Someone mentioned it. I think it was Chris again. He said something that was annoying. I didn't watch press conference. I don't watch press conferences anymore. I get so annoyed. He said Pruitt mentioned that we took away their run game. Yeah, that's effing stupid. You took away their run game because they obliterated you in the pass game. They didn't have to run it. And they still ran it with Isaiah Spiller 26 times and he ran for 90 yards. Did you really take away their run game?
Yeah, they rushed for 216 yards.
Yeah. I didn't see the quote, so I don't know what it said. And then also, you got
Somebody asked what Fulmer said. I'm gonna.
But yeah, Landon, pull up that. And then, do you remember? I think it was Butch Jones last year. The football account tweeted out best pass defense in the SEC or whatever. It wasn't the best, but like second best. I don't know, ranked high. Mm-hmm. Because every team ran for 400 yards on us.
Yeah, they didn't have to throw.
They never threw the ball. They were trying to get out of there and home in time for dinner.
So this is the quote from Dan Harrelson, said that Phil Fulmer quoted this about the Vols playing in the Liberty Bowl. He says, "It's a tremendous development opportunity for our team and should serve as a primer to spring practice for Coach Pruitt and our returners."
I mean, you can't argue that more practice is better than less practice or no practice.
But I mean, like as an AD, this is kind of where I'm at with that. As an AD, Jeremy Pruitt's still the coach here right now. So can you really like say anything else?
The thing about the spring practice comment makes me think that is like we're riding with this guy. Without saying we're riding with this guy.
I mean, Jeremy Pruitt expects to be back. At least that's what he said in his press conference. Yeah, absolutely.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
I thought it was something like, I think so.
he used absolutely. I mean, maybe he just said that, but...
Yeah. Chris said the running comment was from the Florida game. Not much better. No, not much better. Florida didn't want to run the ball. That's why they didn't run the ball. They weren't scared of our run defense. They just didn't want to. Oh, man.
Yeah, let's talk about this game. So it looked like same story, different day for Tennessee. Just terrible on third down on both sides of the ball. Texas A&M was 10 for 14, and we were 1 for 6.
Yeah, the offense is frustrating, man. It looks so creative and so good in little pockets, and then so bad in others.
Well, that first drive that was scripted out looked incredible. And then after that, it was just... bleh.
Yeah, I don't...
And what about us deciding to throw to the tight ends now? I mean, what's that all about? We lose a tight end commit, we're like, oh yeah, let's start throwing to some tight ends.
I don't know, but I love it. I love it. We need to be using it more often.
Good Lord, man.
Yesterday was it was boring.
It was boring.
I mean, unless you're an A&M fan, I guess. But I mean, even for A&M fans, they were probably a little hurt that they weren't putting on much of a show for the playoff committee.
Yeah, they were just wanting to they're hoping Ohio State was going to lose.
No, for sure. They almost did. Regardless, they shouldn't have gotten in. But I mean, A&M just broke Tennessee's will at every turn. They possessed the ball for 44 minutes. That's unheard of.
Yeah, I mean, you can't score any points if you don't have the ball.
Unheard of. 28 first downs. The definition of efficient.
Yeah. And third downs were it wasn't like they were long third downs. It was 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. I mean, it was very manageable third downs. And then when we did get a stop, it's 3rd and 14. They throw an incomplete pass, but guess what? We have a senior defensive lineman hit the quarterback in the face mask. So even when you do make a stop, you can't get out of your own way.
Yep. It was...
0 sacks, 2 tackles for loss. That's what's so frustrating to me is like our defense should be stout. With Pruitt's record as a defensive coordinator, you would think that defense would be much improved from last year to this year. And it looks a lot worse. I know you lost a lot, but still. You don't expect that. I mean, 10 for 14 on third down, how does that even happen? You're just like giving it to them at that point.
You're not making plays when it matters.
No.
And then at that, if you're not making plays when it matters, what's the point of even making plays at all?
Yep. They fumble the football, can't get on it. I mentioned that 3rd and 14. So they get a first down, they go down and score at that point. And then after that, it was kind of over.
Yeah.
Harrison Bailey fumbles. I thought his arms going forward. I have no clue what's a fumble and what's not with a quarterback anymore.
That, and you mentioned it, and I didn't see it live until you showed me the replay. Should have been targeting.
Yeah.
It's atrocious.
It's incredible.
So, that wouldn't have affected the game for Tennessee, but it's frustrating. Yeah, Tennessee ran the ball poorly yesterday. I've seen a bunch of comments about this. Chris said 17 for 44 yards. Tennessee, I don't think they even ran for 44 yards. Yeah, I think minus sack yardage. They probably did run for 44, but you didn't have Eric Gray, and then you gave the ball to your number one back 7 times.
And if he isn't, he didn't have a 7 carries for 31 yards. Not great. but it's still
That's not terrible.
Yeah, it's 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, that's not terrible.
And then Jabari Small and D. Beckwith get 1 carry
Yeah.
apiece.
No, the offense was not outside of again the first drive and probably even that the drive that the other touchdown drive. The 2 touchdown drives obviously you called well.
Yeah, I mean, but that was just a bomb by Stroud. It was 44 yards.
Yeah.
I mean,
But you gave your quarterback a chance to make a play, which rarely happens.
I just don't like your playmakers are Josh Palmer, Velus Jones, Jalen Hyatt. Obviously Eric Gray, he didn't play yesterday. I'm sure that had an effect on the play calling and stuff like that. But Jalen Hyatt had 1 catch. Velus Jones had 1 rush, 0 catches. And your leading receiver was a guy who really hasn't caught the ball all year in Cedric Tillman.
Right. I don't know why we refuse to throw the ball downfield to them. I will say Harrison Bailey's fumble, the fumble that got called, he should have pulled the trigger earlier. The guy was, I don't remember who it was now. It was a little dig route. I don't remember who it was. He hesitated. I think it was Jones, yeah. If he had thrown it out of the break, it would have been a completed first down. Instead, he gives that little pump fake, thinking either the safety was going to break on it or he wasn't going to be there out of the break and had to wait. It shouldn't have happened. So to credit, it should have been an incomplete pass, but it also should have come out quicker. And you're talking first down.
Yeah.
So that's not good. And dude, tell me this: why are our DBs, safeties so good in run support and so bad in pass coverage?
I have zero answer for that. I have no clue, but it's bad.
I'll never get it. Whatever. I don't know.
And then Bryce Thompson didn't really play a ton.
No, and
Warren Burrell got
when he was
the
in,
start.
he was at the nickel, and
Yeah.
I think he struggled keeping inside leverage when he's played nickel this year. Like everybody has, so it's not just him.
But I mean, part of that is like you get 0 pass rush.
Right.
I mean, their offensive line just dominated our defensive front. Absolutely dominated.
No, but I mean, yeah. No, it was.
But I mean, we don't help ourselves out in any facet of the game.
Well, a lot of our pass rush, man, we got guys every time trying to go outside shoulder on the like. That's a gift to an offensive lineman, especially when you're no quicker than him. If you're going to his outside shoulder every time, that's easy for him. Every time. It was so frustrating to watch.
And especially with our defensive tackles, like they just kind of stand up and wait for somebody to come by them so they're good in run support.
Yeah.
Because they can get off the block and just stand in the hole. But a pass rush, it's non-existent. So you're not helping those pass rushers either because they're able to just sit in the pocket all day long.
For sure. You're right, Gunny. It's Jimmy's and Joe's. It is 100% the Jimmy's and Joe's. And we ain't got the Jimmys or the Joes, apparently. But I think this roster is in a better spot than 2017.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's way too much talent on this roster to go 3-7 with losses to Kentucky, Arkansas, and even Auburn wasn't good either.
No. Save us Haslam. I just don't think Haslam can get it done. I'm sorry, Vol for life. But unless everything
anybody gets it done, do you have faith? Because no. I really don't at this point.
At this
point. I don't think anybody can. Besides like Urban Meyer, I don't think anybody that they hire can just come in here and win.
Yeah, Gunny AK said Barnett made a living outside shoulder, but you know what Barnett was? Faster, 3 times faster than every single offensive lineman.
And a freaking stud.
But he was faster. We've got guys that are not quick that only go outside shoulder. When you're not quick, you got to find other ways to get around them. You cannot just go outside shoulder every time.
Yep.
Especially when you can't keep up with the quarterback either. I mean, it's not. You don't have a chance.
And his bend and
yeah, his bend was nasty.
Yeah.
You couldn't touch him. Mm-hmm. But I agree. He made a living on the outside shoulder, but he had the skill set to do that. That he could. So it's different. I agree. He did, but you don't have a single guy like that. Yeah. I mean, look at Darrell Taylor, who wasn't very fast. He was not getting around there, going outside shoulder every time. He couldn't.
No.
Yeah, it's No, I don't believe anybody can get it done. You don't watch 60? Was that 60 Minutes? You don't watch 60 Minutes?
I don't know what that was. I was just like, yeah, I'm tired. I don't know what this is.
Tyler stared at that guy. Yeah. Yeah, man, I don't have faith.
Like who's out there that I'm just like, yeah, that's a home run hire. because like with the allegations going on, you can't hire Hugh Freeze, right? I don't hate the hire. I'll say that right now. If he comes in here, like I don't hate it.
You can hire any effing
But
body.
I'm
if they
just
win,
not
I'm happy.
convinced that somebody's going to come in here and win. Like I don't think anybody's a for sure thing.
It seems like there's a lot of people involved at the University of Tennessee that would rather be right than win. And
Yeah.
you ain't going to win if you're worried about being right.
Exactly.
For now, the roster's better. This is what Low Grady said. For now, the roster's better. Let's see what happens after these investigations. Absolutely. I think that's why you got to pull the trigger earlier than later. I think
I mean, good God. The three names that have been mentioned, Amarius Mims is one of them. He signed with Georgia, so that didn't work. Eric Gray is our best player. But Brian Maurer, are we getting in trouble for giving
QB3?
benefits to Brian
QB4? I
Maurer?
don't know what you can call him. Yeah.
I mean, what a crap show.
Well, someone said, how can and I want to get into that. How can the administration sell Pruitt to the fans for another year? My family has been buying season tickets since 1964, I think. Mm-hmm. I've already said I will probably not be buying season tickets this year if things remain the same.
Yeah.
I hope selfishly maybe one of my brothers does so that we keep our tickets because I'd like to keep sitting where we sit, but
Eventually.
yeah. But I just don't think. I'll say this: most of my Saturdays, Tennessee football didn't ruin them because I was able to separate myself from them. I wasn't there all day, sun up to sundown, so I was able to separate myself from it a little bit.
Yeah.
The passion wasn't as hard felt. So I would love to give my all every weekend for Tennessee.
We'll spend a lot more time at the tailgates when we're in
Exactly.
the stadium.
I'll be sitting at the TV if I need to at the tailgate. But I'm so apathetic. I'm so apathetic. Yesterday I was mad. I was mad about the loss, but game was over. I just done.
Went on, yeah.
That's it. Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, just turn it on another game.
Out of sight, out of mind. No problem.
I did win some money yesterday.
Good for you.
Because
Tennessee, yeah, good for you.
I'm making a killing off the Tennessee basketball covering and the Vols not covering.
Yeah,
Making a killing.
absolutely. Okay, so let's get into the investigation because coaching search time. I know it's talk. Everyone's already started the coaching search.
Yeah.
I mean, it is started. Coach hadn't even fired yet. So this is gonna if it does happen, this is gonna be one for the ages.
Oh yeah, the planes, everything. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I cannot wait if it happens.
Everybody's
it's
gonna see everybody in Gatlinburg or at Dollywood or something like that. It's gonna be great.
I'm surprised we didn't see any just random old former current head coaches in town. Every freaking country music star was in town last night.
Exactly. Yeah. It was.
Where were they at?
Dude, Kenny Chesney gets shorter and shorter every time I see a picture of him.
He didn't wear his insert yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Where were they at?
I think they're at Saloon 18.
16. It didn't look like it.
What did I say? 18. 16. Sorry.
Probably Indianapolis.
sorry.
It was an understandable mistake.
Sorry.
It didn't look like it though.
Maybe they weren't. I don't know.
It didn't look like enough orange. But I didn't recognize the restaurants. I don't know. Oh well, it was cool to see all those people. And
Are
Peyton,
they considered donors?
Kenny. There's no way Kenny gives to any program. How many hats he owns?
Yeah, he'd have to give to every program.
There's no way that happens. Yeah, so I'm surprised we didn't hear any rumors flying about that. But going back to you mentioned, investigation into and apparently that quote I can't even remember. I think it was from the WATE sports guy that there was some SEC coach that said everybody knows they're cheating. They don't hide it. We're talking about SEC football. Everybody knows everybody cheats.
That's your quote? That's your breaking news quote?
It wasn't like a breaking news, but it was like, getting a quote from this guy. And it was like along the lines of everybody knew how Tennessee cheated. They did it without hiding. Like something along those lines. Like everyone knew how they were doing it, what they were doing. It wasn't a secret. Everybody knows that everybody cheats.
We did a great job of hiding it because, Hugh Freeze, everybody knew. When Ole Miss gets a number 1 recruiting class, you're like, okay, something's going on there.
We were hanging back at
we were like
number
10.
15.
Yeah, we did it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's just dumb because everybody knows Alabama cheats. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows Tennessee cheats. Everybody knows Georgia cheats.
It just means more, man.
It does. You think that crap that happened, those $100 handshakes, you think those changed? No. Well, they did, but now there's more money involved. You think people got jobs? You think people gave, parents jobs and then all of a sudden 30 years later, they just stopped? No, God. I mean, how many years ago was the LSU thing? You think LSU was the only team doing it? They didn't win anything significant.
Yeah, and you don't even get fired for it. Will Wade's still there.
True.
It's just Devontae Smart or Javonte Smart's still there.
It's not. Could Tennessee get get in a lot of trouble for it? Were they being dumb about it? Maybe, but LSU or Louisville was throwing freaking parties with strippers in dorm rooms.
Whoa, exotic dancers. Thank you.
I think they moonlighted as hookers,
or as Bill Self put it, acrobatic dancers.
Yeah, exactly. It's insane. It is. I get it. It could be bad, but the thing is, the tweet or the dude that apparently the anonymous SEC coach that said that, it's effing stupid.
Yeah,
it's effing stupid.
I heard this today. I heard somebody told me this, that Pruitt put together a staff full of recruiters and not developers, and
that's what it may seem to be.
And that's kind of what it looks like.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you're getting all these 5 stars, but your 5 stars aren't playing like 5 stars.
Right.
I mean, yeah, some have Henry Toto panned out. Crouch, I guess, to be determined. But your 2 biggest ones, Wanya Morris and Darnell Wright, absolutely do not.
And I'd say, 5 stars. I was going to say, I'd say Eric Gray's.
Yeah, he was a high 4-star. Yeah. I don't know. And then one of your biggest ones never had an impact whatsoever, J.J. Peterson.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah, it looks like the recruiters and not developers, and that's just something I don't think Tennessee wants to get back in, because like you said earlier, it's in a lot better position now.
Can't get worse though.
But yeah, if you wait around another year, it could get very bad.
And nobody wants that. Bill Peake said cheat for 3 wins. Yeah, it's not a good look when. But I mean, that's every time it's a bad year, you're doing things for to get certain guys, and you're bad.
Yeah,
like we knew the same stuff that happened under Philip Fulmer to get guys happened under Derek Dooley and Lane Kiffin, of course under Lane Kiffin, and then under Derek Dooley and under Butch Jones, and it's now happening under Pruitt. Like, don't. If you think it's the same joke every single year during signing day, if you think your team's not cheating, like, let me sell you oceanfront property in Phoenix, Arizona. It's like, it's not the way it works. Like, it's just not.
Yeah, when Lane Kiffin goes to a podium and has Mary Flipmas, you think that's not like, and it's a green shirt, by the way. You thinking, Lane Kiffin's definitely paying people. I mean, why the heck would you want to go off Mississippi?
They're getting benefits. Yeah. I don't know what they're getting. They're getting benefits. And there's a difference in paying a kid and then, getting them hookers. There's a difference. There's a difference in that. So let's be clear about that.
Yeah.
But there's a difference.
You still can't do them.
Also,
you still can't do them and lose.
No, But that's every coach. I mean, I think every coach should be graded with the assumption that they're giving athletes benefits.
Yeah.
Like, we knew this was happening before the report came out. Come on, guys. Like, don't.
It's not a secret.
Yeah, you just want to hope they don't get caught. Every coach does it.
I just thought it was...
Donnie Tyndall did it at Southern Miss. If Southern Miss is doing it, you don't think Tennessee's doing it?
Oh, yeah.
Come on. Come on.
But don't you dare have a barbecue.
Also, never self-report. Make the NCAA come in and investigate. North Carolina, nothing happened.
Yep.
Missouri, they got the freaking axe.
Will Wade?
Never self-report.
Memphis?
Ever.
Memphis?
Yes. Don't ever do it. You're just admitting. Don't talk to them. Don't talk to them. Don't talk to them. They have no jurisdiction. They can't do anything to you. Don't talk to them.
I just love that quote from the WATE guy, and I'm not throwing shade at him, but
he didn't say it.
Oh, I know, but
yeah.
like you put that in there. It's like, anybody would say that.
Yeah. I also want to know what coach said it. Like, what? God. I mean, and the coaches can always go, because I think from some of the stories you've read, most of the time it is the boosters doing it for you. So coaches can, if they're being smart, they can honestly say, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, Brock Hunter on here. I love this quote. He said it happens at Little League level.
Yes.
It happens in high school.
Yes.
It's going to happen in college.
I think a lot of coaches can honestly say they don't know, or sorry, they can say I don't personally know anything about it because they're smart and they've separated themselves from the situation. But if you ask them, is it going on, and they go, I don't know, they're lying.
Yeah.
They know what's going on. Can they personally say, like, they know, the amount and how it's being, how it's getting to them and who's giving it? If they're smart, they can go, I don't know the details. I don't know if that's happening. But they know what's happening.
Right. So Scott Callhorn says, any more news regarding the impermissible benefits? Not really anything new that Tennessee fan. It's just under investigation.
Right.
So we'll probably see how it unfolds. I think tomorrow's going to be interesting.
I gotta think
today you might see some stuff, but yeah, Pruitt was at a funeral. I'm sure there has been a ton of meetings today.
Yeah.
Regarding everything, and you get the bowl. It was kind of bowl day.
Yep.
Selection Sunday.
We'll find out. Okay, we also got a question from, I lost it. I don't remember who it's from. Sorry. Top 3 coaching. If it was open, who are your top 3 guys? And I know, I'm sorry, Austin. Go ahead and say it. Because I'm impressed with how you've gotten every Tennessee. I haven't heard the name Hugh Freeze mentioned with Tennessee until Austin did it. So I got to say it is impressive how you have a lot of this fan base bought in. My only thing with Freeze is he hasn't won anything significant. It sounds like it would cost a lot of money to get him away from Liberty. Like, Liberty signed that extension knowing he's going to be on a lot of people's top picks. So they want money for him. That's fair. That's smart from him, getting your cash cow in line here. But he's not high on me. I think with Gus Malzahn being available, if we're talking about a proven winner in the SEC, I would hire Gus Malzahn. And if your thing is, can he beat Nick Saban? Well, he's done it a lot. So,
well, yeah. So I mean, that's the thing with both of those guys. It's like really the only thing you're kind of gauging is, can he beat Nick Saban?
Yeah.
And both of those guys, yeah, they've beaten Nick Saban on multiple occasions.
Right.
But with Gus, like, if you hire Gus Malzahn, you're saying that Tennessee's, and right now, yeah, it looks like it. Their program is a lot worse than Auburn's. You're pretty much admitting that if you go get Gus Malzahn.
Is LSU's program worse than Ole Miss's?
What do you mean?
They hired Coach O.
Yeah, but he was there before.
I know. I'm just saying, like, I think the SEC is. I think with wanting I think with the coaching changes being more prevalent, you're looking for the next guy to come in and win games for you. I think there's just been a bigger, like, more of a cycle than in any time in the history of the SEC. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't think. I don't know. It's just. Did Florida, when they hired Dan Mullen, I mean, yes, he was going to be more successful in the East because it was easier, but it's like, he also didn't do a ton special at Mississippi State.
Yeah, he just had, like, one good year.
Right. So it's like, now, like, the thing I think that's dumb, like South Carolina hiring Muschamp. Muschamp didn't come from the West. He didn't come from a hard division. He didn't win a lot of important games. Like, they hired a guy that you knew he wasn't going to get better at South Carolina.
Right.
Whereas, like, Gus has at least won significant things. Now, I would be fine with, like, I think I would prefer trying to either land, like, the next up-and-comer or going and getting a guy from another conference. Because I am with you a little bit of, like, he's had his chance in the SEC.
Right.
I am with that to an extent of, like, yeah, you've tried.
But I think Tennessee would love to just be at the point where Auburn is, where you're going to go 8-9 wins probably every year.
Right. I think we'd be happy with that.
Right, yeah. I agree, but I don't...
Would it be an underwhelming hire?
I just don't think there's anybody out there that's just like, oh man, that's a sexy hire.
You don't think oh my gosh, the Pirate would be sexy?
No. And he's definitely not sexy.
No.
Let's just throw that out there now.
Freeze had 15 level 1 violations. I am not crazy about Hugh Freeze. I'm not. I wasn't. I'm not crazy about Hugh Freeze for a lot of reasons. I think if Tennessee made that hire, I hope it would be in good faith that everything would go right, like in terms of like he's going to be on his best behavior, because some of the violations he made were above and beyond just benefits. There were some serious allegations. I don't like the guy, so personally.
Yeah. I mean, if he would have never said that Tennessee was his dream job 10 years ago, or 11 years ago, or whenever it was, I don't know. I just don't think anybody...
He's not even in the talk.
Right.
Matt Campbell, that's an interesting one. I think I've been very impressed with Matt Campbell at Iowa State. That's a guy that I'm like, a different conference, been pretty successful at what you would call, I guess, like a lower tier program. I'm not saying Tennessee's at a better place than Iowa State, because they're not program wise, but I like Matt Campbell. I think
resource wise, yes.
Yeah. I think Matt Campbell would do a pretty good job at UT.
Yeah.
If Jeremy Pruitt was fired tomorrow and you hired Matt Campbell, I would be happy. Yes.
See, and I agree with that. A lot of people were talking about Steve Sarkisian, and yeah, he's got Alabama rolling right now with their offense. But we did go the Alabama coordinator before, and look where we're at.
And is Sarkisian more than a coordinator? I don't know. Like, he didn't do it. He's a good coordinator. You knew that before the USC head coaching job. Right. Is he more than that? To be determined. Right. He would be a hire that you're taking a chance on.
Yeah, but I would rather go like the Matt Campbell, Luke Fickell, somebody who's like doing it at a lower level school, being a head coach, being the head guy. Being a coordinator and then going to a head coach, I just think it's different. So I don't want to see a coordinator in this being their first head coaching job. I don't want to see that ever again. I don't. I just think there's a lot of... Pruitt seems like a micromanager, and no one wants to work for a guy who micromanages them.
That seems to be the Saban tree. Someone just said, I'm sick of going the Saban tree route. That seems to be because that's what Saban does. The difference is that Saban's really, really good at it. Yeah. And if you're not good at micromanaging, things implode. Mm-hmm. If you're good at micromanaging, they usually go well, but it's bad. I was going to ask something about the lower tier guys. I can't remember now. But yeah, I don't know. Sark was a proven head coach at Washington. Proven? I mean, I'll go look at his record. Was he proven, though?
Who?
Sarkisian. Oh, sorry.
I don't know. I'm just not crazy about that hire anyway. I just don't.
Yeah.
I would rather go Matt Campbell.
Oh, I was going to say the coordinator. That reminded me. The coordinator route. I would be okay if the coordinator was at Tennessee. Okay. And had been here, like an established, doing well, a guy that's been around the program and at least has some experience as far as that program that he was at. I would be okay with it. But I'm probably
Billy Napier. Dude, I'm not a fan of... I was out on him as soon as he, I thought he was a decent coach, but when he did that intentional safety, I was like...
Yeah, you can't find anything else?
Hell no.
You can't find anything else to do?
No, I don't want that. I don't want that.
So, Chris, I'll read off his record, Sarkisian's record at Washington. 5-7, 7-6, 7-6, 7-6, 8-4. He never finished above third in the Pac-12.
No, I'm good.
And he won one bowl game. It was the Holiday Bowl in 2010 when he tied for third. So T. Martin's not been a coordinator, though. Sure, I guess he's the passing game coordinator or whatever, but it's like I want to believe in Tennessee guys. You know, I do when it because they've been around the program. T. Martin doesn't have the experience in my book, and Tennessee is an SEC head coaching job is a tough job.
It is, yeah.
It is a tough job.
So I think that's why you got to go somebody who's like a Matt Campbell.
They at least have experience running the ship.
I'm not even saying that's who I go with. My first call, I'd be like, Urban Meyer, what's going on? Because that's the only guy I'm just like, he would come here and win.
He would win. He would win. I don't know.
He'd piss a lot of people off,
and
a lot of the boosters off, but he would win, so no one would give a shit.
I don't know if he would beat Nick Saban, but he would 100% beat Kirby Smart and Dan Mullen.
100%, yeah.
Was Dabo ever a coordinator? No, Dabo, I don't think was he might have been an offense coordinator before he was named the interim. He might have been, but I mean that might have been 1 year. But Dabo again, I mean that's Dabo's a guy. So maybe you're right about T. Martin. He was around Clemson a lot before he got the opportunity to be the head coach. So maybe T. Martin could do that, but I think it would be extremely tough. And also, I mean, is Dabo one in a million guys? Maybe he's one at the rate of 1 in a million guys.
I think we need to stop with we have to have somebody with Tennessee ties.
I don't think No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying T. Martin he knows about Tennessee.
Right, but like, has he? To me, you got to have the offense. In today's game, you got to have the offense, and he hasn't even been a proven offensive coordinator yet. So
no, Dabo was never a coordinator. No, he wasn't. I
appreciate you won us a national championship, but like, I need more than that. I'm sorry, but I do.
To be fair, look at Sam Pittman.
Yeah,
and I guess here's my question. Talking about Sam Pittman, talking about guys like Dabo, when you've been in a situation where you've never been the guy that's made the game plan, that's been in control of the game. Do you do a better job of picking your guys and letting them do what they do?
Yeah, I think that's like I think everybody loves Sam Pittman. When they made that hire at Arkansas, I was like, oh, that's not.
Seemed very underwhelming.
Yeah, but I mean, he's gotten the right guys in there, and he lets them do their thing.
And so, is there something to be said for guys who haven't been coordinators that don't need to run their offense or their defense or whatever?
I just think it's got to be like, dude, get out of your own way.
Oh, I think so too. Yeah, I think so too. I think the biggest thing about being a head coach is getting guys around you that do a better job at what you hired them to do than you. Mm-hmm. If you're the best guy in the room, if you're the head coach and you're hiring guys and you're the best guy in the room, you're just going to be disappointed all the time.
Right. I mean,
because you can't do it all.
I think Tennessee would look a lot different if you hired Jeremy Pruitt and he stayed out of the offense, which he might. I don't know, but it doesn't look like it.
No.
But if he would have if he would have got Jim Chaney maybe from the get-go, but I think he had to constantly look over the shoulder of Tyson Helton, so he's continued to do that under Jim Chaney. That's what it looks like to me.
And did he have to, though? Like, if he'd given Tyson Helton more rank, because you hired the guy, you got to give him a chance. Someone said Pittman is an ideal hire. He brings in coordinators and lets them do their job. And I think Dabo just surrounded himself with good coaches. I think that's a big part of being a head coach. If Jeremy Pruitt, when he was looking for a defensive coordinator, was looking for a guy that's like, I want to be smarter than this guy. I want to have, my hand in the jar when I'm making these important decisions because I'm better than him. I think I need to be. Then your defense coordinator wasn't going to do a good job.
Right.
Same thing with offense. If he hired Tyson Helton because he thought he could control him, he wasn't going to do a good job. Yeah. That wasn't going to be the case. If you go the Sam Pittman route, this is from Lowry Grady. If you go the Sam Pittman route, you have to go someone that's been around it a long time and can inspire. I mean, you have to. I think you have to be around someone who's been around football for a while. I don't know if you mean that or the Tennessee program. I think that's been involved in college football for a while because you've also got to know how to go out and recruit. Yep. That's what Sam Pittman done really well for his entire career. You got to know how to recruit. You got to know how to let your guys go out and game plan and how to scheme, and then you got to know how to coach on game day. Because you are the decision maker on game day.
It does seem like Pruitt wants kind of his inner circle to be there, like Will Friend. I mean, good God,
it's time.
Yeah, Will Friend. I'm sorry, bud. It's just not working out for you.
Yeah.
Because I mean that offensive line should have been one of the best in the country, and it just was not. It was very underwhelming.
Absolutely.
Scott Corn said he wanted us to compare Jeremy Pruitt and Jimbo Fisher. I think number one, Jimbo Fisher won a national championship before he went to
Jimbo
Texas
Fisher
A&M.
is a winner.
And Texas A&M was just like, hey, we're going to go get somebody who's won a national championship, who can recruit, who's proven they can knock off some of the top SEC teams.
Yeah. I don't think Jimbo Fisher was necessarily he's not going to do things in he's not a sexy hire, I don't think. He's not going to do things in a sexy way. He just wins, though.
Yeah.
He's going to win you some ball games.
Yeah.
He should be playing in a college football playoff.
Yeah,
he should be.
Yep.
That was stupid.
Yeah, that was botched.
Man, I don't know who the right hire would be, but I think you can go. I think there's a lot of routes you can go. But I think staying away from the Saban tree is the right way to go.
Yeah, because I'm constantly tired of hearing, oh, who's going to be the next coach? Who's going to be the first assistant to knock off their former head coach? I'm just like, dude, I'm so tired of hearing that.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. Chris said, Caleb, did you see my question about the last 13 years? I did get it. Thank you for reminding me. Last 13 years, what's the one thing you would change about Tennessee football?
That's tough.
Mine is Mike Hamilton.
Yeah, that's probably where I would go too.
If you fire,
When was he?
I don't remember when he came in, but if you do end up firing Philip Fulmer, you don't do it how you did it, when you did it. The Philip Fulmer was botched from the get-go. Yeah.
Also think maybe not firing Butch after 16. I think that might be one.
That would be a good one. Said anything goes. Hirings, firings. I think it's Mike Hamilton. I think Mike Hamilton began the downfall of Tennessee football. He fired Philip Fulmer. You hired Lane Kiffin. I don't know if you just got unlucky. I think everyone in their right mind leaves their dream job. He shouldn't have ever stepped foot back on campus when he quit. It was a bad situation all around. That's out of Mike Hamilton's control. You should have never hired Derek Dooley. Worst case scenario, what you should have done is had an interim around for a year and try to get some stability. Hiring a guy that was losing at Louisiana Tech should have never even come on your board.
Yep.
Mike Hamilton is the one thing I change.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, he's been the domino effect he's been the root of the problem.
See, we get quit firing coaches every 3 years. You should have fired Butch after 3.
Yeah, for sure.
Dooley was fired after 3. You had to. Probably could have fired him after 2.
Brock Hunter said, would y'all take Fulmer back?
No. It's out. He's
I think it's kind of
past his time. I'm sorry. I like Phil Fulmer a lot, but
gotta have some offense.
And I think it's a bad optics if the guy goes from fires a head coach and then becomes an AD. I think it's bad optics. I don't think he should have been fired when he was. Right. I agree with that. I think if you're the AD, you need to be able to separate yourself from any programs you're currently. If he had any desire to coach football again, he shouldn't have become an AD.
Ooh, a coach. I just thought about this because I'm wearing a shirt, or I'm wearing his team shirt. Tom Allen.
I would be interested in looking more into Tom Allen. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I'm not willing to say 100% yes, but I'll look into it. I'll think about it, yeah.
I think he's a guy, man, I just watch him after games, and I'm just like, dude, those kids love to play for him. And maybe these kids love to play for Jeremy Pruitt, but he's not that type of guy that's just like a loving dude. He just doesn't seem as approachable as what former players say about him.
I don't. It's hard to judge. I think the players like him a lot.
Yeah, I do too.
I
just don't see it. He doesn't show it.
Here's my only thing about Tom Allen that makes me nervous. So it was mentioned when Butch Jones was hired that we should never hire a guy that lost to Derek Dooley. So if we're going that same philosophy, scares me. He did lose to Jeremy Pruitt. I know it was in weird fashion.
Michael Penix was also hurt.
Yeah, I know. It just scares me. Like I said, I'm not saying no to Tom Allen.
Yeah,
I like the idea of it, but I would definitely I want to look into it some more.
Jamie Chadwell's.
I like Jamie Chadwell. Apparently, he's had some NCAA issues. You know much about that?
No, I don't. That would be a red flag, though.
Would be a red flag for sure. Tennessee needs to stay out of that.
You want to get something? Are we good with the coaches? Do you have any more that you would like to maybe look into?
I don't know who all have mentioned. So I don't.
Will Muschamp, Derek Mason.
Yeah, I would love them. I think they would do fantastic at.
What about James Franklin?
No.
No, good.
I thought he did a really good job at Vanderbilt. Seemed to be doing pretty good at Penn, but this year's been a huge red flag for me. So, no. Nope, I'm out. Yeah.
Luke Fickell?
Yeah, I like Luke Fickell. Someone mentioned Pat Fitzgerald. Nah, I'm good. Northwestern seems like the Tennessee of the Big Ten.
Yeah, that's true.
He got whooped by Butch Jones. Now, he got whooped by one of the best teams in recent history, but I'm good. No, I think some of these guys have proven they're never going to win big games. Could Pat Fitzgerald come in and coach Tennessee to 8 wins, 8 to 9 wins consistently? Sure. But don't we want to get past that?
Yeah, let's get over the hump.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay, we've stayed on this coaching
Pat
search.
Fitzgerald is only 46 years old.
Would he leave? I think he would maybe leave Northwestern for an NFL gig. He wouldn't leave Northwestern for another college gig, I don't think.
Yeah, see, I think that's... It just seems like
Now, money does talk.
people kind of stay in their, region.
Typically,
Like
yeah, probably.
coaches. So, I don't know if Luke Fickell would come here. And we did the Cincinnati. People are going to be like, we hired another coach from Cincinnati. I'm good. That's fair. I don't disagree. But I think Luke Fickell has won a lot more than Butch Jones ever did at Cincinnati.
Yeah, no, he's done a little bit better.
So Shiano's out for you, right?
You know what? I'll talk Shiano. Let's talk this bowl game real quick since we have to. Since the Liberty Bowl is making us do it. Tennessee versus West Virginia in the Liberty Bowl. That is December 31st. Kickoff's at 3 p.m.
Central Time, right?
Sure, I don't know. Probably Eastern. Because it's usually 12 and 3, 7.
Okay.
Normally those kickoffs are 12 or... I can look real quick. Oh, yay, bowl game. God. Just to get whooped by
It is at 4. 4 Eastern
4,
time.
okay.
Yeah.
So 12, 4, and 8. I guess are when those games are. Yeah, yay. Chris said, I think if Michigan opens up, Fick will go there. I'd say it's a possibility. Yep. Mike Gundy. What do you think about Mike Gundy?
No.
I wouldn't have been ecstatic about that hire if it happened last time.
I do know Jamie Chadwell got a huge extension.
I mean,
what's huge for Coastal Carolina, but...
And I think that's very similar to the Liberty situation where they're like, we're going to get as much money out of this guy. We know he's gone soon. Let's give him a buyout, make a big school pay it.
Yeah, they know what
and that good for them. That's how, how those schools earn a lot of money? They do big buyouts and they go and play division or FBS teams. So, or not FBS because they are FBS, but you get it.
It's like a grad school.
Yeah. Okay. Bowl game though, playing Liberty. Week and a half bowl prep. Yep, Chris. Week and a half. It's not that much time. You don't get a ton of free practices, but
I think we had some questions.
Oh man.
Earlier today. What's the more likely scenario? Niedermeyer takes the fall and Pruitt survives, or we wipe the slate clean and start over? I think if. I mean, I don't. If Niedermeyer takes the fall, Pruitt's going to take the fall too.
I don't know, man.
But I am just kind of wanting to just start over. I think it's kind of past.
If Pruitt does it like every other school, there's a guy on your staff that's the bag man that'll be taking the fall.
Yeah.
Willie Bruce Pearl in Auburn. So there's going to be somebody. If Pruitt's not tied up in it, there's somebody's going to take the fall.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be Niedermeyer. That name's just been tossed out. We don't know if that's true. So, Chris said, hey, Landon, how about the Army head coach and the option? What do you think about Jeff Monken?
No.
Landon, come on. Let's be that weird team that nobody wants to ever play because it's just stupid. Come on.
At least we'd convert some third downs every once in a while, so maybe. I'll think about it,
It's a bold assumption.
I'll think about it, Chris. Anything, if I see another game like I saw on yesterday, I'll think about it. It'll cross my mind. Drunk Bearded Vol fan in Georgia said, do you think coaches that haven't been fired yet should get a pass for 2020? Because this year has been crazy. This team should perform good. Also, Texas A&M beat up on us and got screwed out of the playoffs. I feel sorry for whoever they're playing in their bowl game. Yeah, I think they're going to come out fired up. Probably a little pissed off, and I would too.
Yes.
But do coaches get a pass for 2020? Nah.
I wouldn't think so.
No. You don't. You get a pass maybe if it's a true freshman quarter, and not even a pass. If it's a true freshman quarterback, you can maybe put some blame on that, or at least use it.
Yeah, we're trying to build, but you weren't trying to build this year, so.
Yeah, that's inexcusable to score 7 points against Kentucky and lose to them at home for the first time since 1984.
Yes.
Unacceptable. So no, they do not get a pass.
I agree. Any other questions? Football questions?
Chris had some earlier. He said, if you're the Vols, do you decline the Liberty Bowl and just call it a day on 2020 or roll with it? I think you got to.
I think you got to accept the bid.
Yeah, you got to play.
And
SEC's going to make you for one.
And I think as far as just wanting, I think you should want to go play in this game.
And I think players want to play in this game.
Yeah.
Number one.
I don't
They wanna
know.
Travel.
Maybe.
Get some gifts, some legal gifts, I guess.
I don't know if players want to play, and I tweeted about this a little bit. Because Brian Kelly was like, I don't know if we'll play if our parents can't be there. These kids have been through enough. No, kids probably don't want to play in a bowl when they're 3-7.
I was hoping Notre
That's
Dame was going to be left out of the college football player because of that reason.
But if you played all year, of course you're wanting to get. It's stupid. I don't know. I could understand not wanting to go play in a bowl game, which means it could be worse for Tennessee, and maybe they need to try to find a way out. Maybe they'll get COVID a day before. They won't be able to play because of COVID. But I just think if they do like playing for Pruitt, it's on you now.
Yeah.
You got to go and win this game and have a good showing.
He also asked about Hugh Freeze and what we thought about him.
I just don't like Freeze. I don't like it. I don't like him. Yeah. Is he good as a coach? He's decent. I don't like him, though.
Yeah. I don't know. I like him better than some people. I like some people better than him.
Would I cheer for Hugh Freeze? Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want somebody new right now. I think it's time to start over. That's where I'm at. I don't care who it is, just somebody new. Somebody bring some excitement to me because I have zero right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Basketball, let's get excited.
St. Joseph's. That get you pumped?
Or how about that 100-piece we put on them Golden Eagles, boy?
I love it, baby. We need points. They are
0-8, but still, you scored 100 points.
Scored 100 points. You held them to 50.
Yeah, we had...
What you mean?
Our freshmen showed out.
You weren't beating Ohio by 7.
Dude, so I brought this up at our party last night. Team Jacob, Team Edward. We're Team Keon, Team Jaden.
We need to get shirts made. I'll work on getting us shirts made.
Okay, yeah, that'd be fun. I like it.
Team Keon, 45 on the back.
Yeah.
I guess we can't put their name. Team K. Team J.
Yeah.
Team J, Team S.
Dang it, NCAA.
Well, if we're just getting it made for us, it'll be all right.
Yeah.
It'll be okay. We'll do that.
Okay.
We just can't sell them. Sorry. I think it would be a great shirt, but...
Team 45 or Team 11?
Maybe we can do that.
We'll think about it. We'll put it out there. This is out there for y'all. So y'all tell us.
45 in your program, 1 in your heart.
Yeah,
those are the shirts we'll get made. Classic 90s shirt.
Yeah.
We'll do it. Man, I love Jaden Springer too. Don't take that as Jaden Springer hate, but we were just talking about it during our keys of the game yesterday.
And who our favorite one is.
Yeah, just like it started off because I was like, man, I think Keon Johnson might be one of my favorite players already. One of my favorite Tennessee players. He just plays so hard. He looks good on offense. I mean, he is just a fun player to watch. And it just helps that you have 2 5-star freshmen. I really hope Tennessee gets to finish out this year.
Because they are some studs.
They are. And I think, unless Jaden Springer keeps it up, the first 2 games, I'm like, Springer could be a guy that doesn't maybe get into the draft and decides to stick it around for another year. But now he's looking like, that ain't going to happen.
I'm going to score 21 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 8 for 10 shooting.
He left Rick Barnes speechless. Rick Barnes said can't critique anything tonight. He played a really good game all around.
Yeah, 0 turnovers. Yeah, what do you say to him?
I'm smiling ear to ear. I love it, man. I love the way these guys play. I love the way this team plays. They're playing. They should do the same thing tomorrow night, 6 p.m. tip off. Against St. Joseph's. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
And I think the next two opponents are like combined 0 for 11.
Yeah.
But I think this is a good time. Like you talked about, Jaden Springer kind of had his coming out party against Texas Tech or Tennessee Tech. I think a lot of these guys are going to be able to get some quality minutes just in time for SEC play. I think that's going to be huge for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Guys like Kumwa, guys like EJ Anosike will probably get more minutes. Devontae Gaines. Other than that, maybe Plavsic gets some more minutes. Maybe Pember. But guys that can really, that you're probably going to rely on.
Right.
In not every game, but some games you're probably going to need some of those guys to have some quality minutes.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just getting that rotation, getting a bunch of guys playing, and getting to see what they bring to the team. It's going to be the next two games should be really fun before your December 30th matchup against number 16 should move up next week, undefeated Missouri.
I mean, I just like you said, this team just plays so hard. I mean, we're up like 35, and there's people diving on the floor for loose balls. It's
diving on the floor, jumping over scores tables. John Fulkerson won't sit down when he's out of the game.
Yeah, Coach Fulkerson, love it.
This team's a lot of fun to watch. Thank you.
Rick Barnes said he was going to be a lifer, so is he just going to transition into a coach after?
Oh, 100%.
Oh, that would be awesome. Then we could get shirts made.
Yes, we
Team
could.
Fulkerson. Or Team Folk, or whatever. However we want to do it.
Team Folky. Yeah, so I mean, I think, I don't know. We're gonna have to work on these shirts. I want a Team Keon shirt. Was it Team Edward and Team Jacob? Was that the?
Yeah.
Okay. You have to think about that. Maybe look at some Twilight material.
Okay.
See if we can play off some Twilight.
Rewatch all the movies to just get that get that into our brain.
I've seen one Twilight. I'm proud to say that.
Yeah, I think I've seen them all. Not proud of it, but I did see it. Not great movies, but hey, we got the idea because I've seen them.
But Chris said these cupcakes aren't going to help unless we face true opponents. It is. I mean, you're not going to help. I think all you're doing right now is you're getting guys in shape. You're getting them shooting during game speed. You're getting freshmen who haven't played at this level at all in games.
Hey, Chris, I don't need no negativity.
This is basketball.
Yeah.
Keep the negativity in football talk.
We're positive only over here.
Tennessee's
got a great basketball team. We're ranked number 10 in the country.
Yeah.
We're undefeated. I don't care. Every game's a cupcake game because we're blowing them out.
Exactly. No, I agree. It's definitely, your first test against Missouri is definitely going to be harder, but I don't think it. Tennessee is winning in dominating fashion right now. Guys are getting comfortable. I don't think it. Yeah, I would have loved to seen Tennessee had a chance to play Villanova on Friday night. That would have been awesome. I would much rather them play Villanova than Tennessee Tech. I would have loved to see them play Gonzaga, Wisconsin, VCU, but you don't get those opportunities, unfortunate. But watching this team play, typically when you watch teams that are good play those opponents, sometimes it's still not fun. Mm-hmm. They're making it fun.
Yep.
They're making it fun. I think, yes, they're playing cupcakes, but, everything else, man, I think they look really good regardless.
Very good basketball team. Deep basketball team.
Deep.
And very athletic.
Yes.
We're so athletic. I mean, I was talking to one of my buddies about this team compared to Grant Williams and Admiral Schofield's team. And, I mean, that team, just bought in from the start.
Right.
And that's why they were so good. I think this team has more talent than that team, and it seems like they've bought in from the start.
They definitely have on the defensive end.
Yeah.
Offense is going to be more interesting because you do have a lot of young guys. Yes, you haven't played a lot of quality opponents yet, so it's definitely there's probably going to be some growing pains there in SEC play. But if they can stay bought in on defense, you're going to keep yourself in every game.
And those two are only going to get better as the season goes on. I mean, you look at Kentucky year in and year out, they're 1-5 right now. Awesome. Hilarious. But those teams get better as the year goes on because they have so many freshmen. I think that's going to be the same with these guys, and they're already starting off pretty dang hot.
Yeah, I mean, their minutes started off low, 13 minutes both apiece, I think 13 and 15. They've already moved up in minutes.
Yeah.
They're getting there. And this team's not in shape yet either, guys. They're not in game shape.
Yeah, I think that's why Vescovi's playing so many minutes because he's like been overseas just playing
On the whole time.
Yeah. So he's like, yeah, this is none for me.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely, you're going to see some growing pain. But as long as this defense plays as stout as they've been playing, you're gonna be in every single game.
Yep.
You're going to be in every single game. I haven't watched Missouri play this year. Did you say you had? I can't remember.
I have not, no.
It's, I think the way Tennessee plays defense and does a good job of pushing tempo, I think every Conzo team I've watched, it could be a very, very good matchup for Tennessee.
Yeah.
Could be a very good matchup.
Looking ahead, you have St. Joseph's tomorrow, like you mentioned. Their last opponent was Villanova.
Oh, nice.
They lost that game by 20, 88-68. So it is a team who's actually played some decent opponents. They played Auburn, they played Kansas, Drexel, and then they played Villanova.
Oh, wow. They've had a tough schedule.
Yeah. They lost to Auburn in overtime.
Auburn's not going to be great this year.
No, they're not. They lost to Kansas by 22. Drexel, they lost by 4. So I think this is definitely a better opponent than Tennessee Tech, but it's a game Tennessee should win and probably win big.
Yep.
Spreads at 21.5.
You got any
Vols
advice?
Vols
You
cover,
got any
baby.
advice? Yes, Alex, the COVID rule does apply to basketball. Hashtag bring Folky back. Yeah, he can return. Rick Barnes called him a lifer. Rick Barnes sounds like he expects Fulkerson to return.
Yeah, I think EJ Anosike will probably return as well.
I think so, and I think it'd be good for him.
I think you're probably going to lose Jaden and Keon. They're probably gone.
Yeah.
And Pons is probably gone. But I think you have a good group coming back as well.
And
if Fulkerson comes back.
And then you've got a good recruiting class coming in behind him.
Yeah, Kennedy Chandler.
Let's go. Team Kennedy.
And Jemai Mashak. Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, we gonna be all right.
I love it.
I love it, baby.
I'm just so glad we have basketball to kind of fall back on.
I love it. I don't want to get away from it. Let's just forever.
I'm glad there's not a big. I'm glad they kind of overlap.
They shouldn't have that much this year, unfortunately.
Right. But yeah, it's just nice this year to have something to kind of fall back on. And hopefully we get baseball. I love the kicking it with Kiv.
I haven't gotten a chance. I got to listen to a little bit of the Garrett Crochet one.
It's pretty good.
Who else did he have?
Andre Lipsius.
Andre Lipsius. Hey, Ross, we want a little.
So yeah, I messaged him and told him I enjoyed it, and I said we're gonna take credit for getting your start.
We need some
show, and he said him and Chad came up with that because they were on the show.
We need some royalties from it, dude. We had Ross. We got to get Ross. We just need to get him on just to talk. He does, whether we got a ton of baseball to talk about or not. He was great on the show, great to talk to.
That whole baseball staff is just
they're awesome. They're awesome dudes,
individuals, and been great to us too. So we definitely appreciate that.
Yeah. Low Grady made a good point. Colorado and Cincy weren't cupcakes. Some easy games to work on rhythm are good games. Colorado was not a cupcake game. The cupcakes I'm referring to are Tech, St. Joseph's, and
UC Upstate.
UC Upstate coming this week. Those are the cupcake games that you'll have before you play Missouri. But yeah, no, I don't think. I mean, opening with Colorado, a team that had played 2 games, averaging 80 points, was not an easy task by any means.
I agree.
Not an easy task. So yeah, I mean, I think Tennessee has had some. I'm not putting Colorado in that category of really tough opponents or anything, but it was not a cupcake. Absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But yes, back to baseball. I didn't want to answer that question though, or talk about that statement. But yes, going back to baseball, we definitely gotta get Ross and Chad back on, and we haven't had the pleasure of having Vitello on yet.
Yeah, we need that.
We've talked to it. He said he's gonna come on. We gotta make it happen.
We do gotta make it happen.
We gotta make it happen. I think we need to go. I think we need to go a little roundtable with the baseball staff. Get them all 3 on it.
That'd be fun.
We need to get Vitello on by himself. Ease him into it a little bit.
For the stories.
Exactly.
Just love the stories. I love that one of Kiev getting the call.
Yep.
About the job, and He's got that Tequila
Tuesday at what ball? I can't remember what ballpark. His minor league team. That was a great story.
Yeah, all time.
I'm sure.
I don't know if he has a stand-up routine, but that definitely should be the one he kicks off with.
I'm sure Vitello. He seems like a good storyteller too. I'm sure he's got a few of his own.
Oh, 100%.
So yeah, I'd love to sit down and talk with them. It'd be a lot of fun. We'll get Ross back on. It was really fun. Yeah, like you said, doing a great job on the kicking it with Kiv. Is that what it is?
Kicking it with Kiv.
Kiv.
Yeah.
So, all right. Anything else you want to mention about basketball or baseball? I guess I did take us on that baseball tangent.
No, I'm just ready to talk about this college football playoff because I'm.
Golly. I can't believe when I read it. I got the ESPN notification. I was like, that's not real. I told you yesterday though. The moment the Big Ten moved Ohio State in, that was telling me that the college football playoff committee told the Big Ten that if Ohio State wins, they're in.
Yeah, I mean it was. Yesterday was irrelevant.
Yep.
You didn't even need it.
Nope.
Because the same teams are in it. Even though Notre Dame gets blown out.
And everyone assumed that the only reason they beat Clemson the first time around was because Trevor Lawrence was missing.
Yeah.
And that seemed to be correct.
Yeah. And then their coach comes out and says, yeah, if the parents aren't allowed to come, we just probably won't play.
And then they get
I'll show you.
They get moved from the Rose Bowl to Dallas. Is it in Dallas now?
It's just so dumb. I don't. Have we not learned that Notre Dame is always the most overhyped team, and people continue to buy into it every single time,
every single year?
And
I'm so sick of
Notre Dame. They're going to get blown out by Alabama.
And that everyone talked about it. A&M. We knew A&M got blown out. You knew Ohio State was probably going to get blown out by Alabama. Just give a team then that's at least earned a little bit of it to be there, like Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Coastal. To A&M, give someone who, if any team's going to get blown out, don't gift it to Notre Dame because they've been there all year. They lost yesterday. Do losses mean anything? I don't know. A&M got beat by Alabama.
Lost. They beat Clemson at home in overtime with a backup quarterback. And then their only decent win after that was it could have been Clemson again yesterday. They play in the ACC. How does that not take into effect? Like Texas A&M, okay, they play in the toughest conference in college football. Their only loss is to the best team in the country.
By far the best team in the country.
Right. So I just don't understand.
Is Butch Jones still coaching at Alabama during all this? Or whatever he does? Analyst?
I don't know.
Was he on the sidelines last night?
I hope not.
I thought I saw a picture of him.
Really? I don't think, dude.
Does anybody listening right now know?
There's no way. If you get a head coach for being an intern,
you have to. You have to go.
Jonesboro, boy.
You have to go. But I swear I saw a picture of Butch Jones on the sidelines.
Oh my gosh.
I could be wrong. I probably am. That's why I'm asking. Though.
It's definitely going to be Alabama and Clemson, though.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Dude, let's kind of move on from that a little bit.
North Carolina was the other, Chris said it was their other top 25 win. Yeah, but I think everyone knows, North Carolina was just kind of an offensive, that's about it to them. They had some offensive firepower. Yeah, that's about all they had.
Be a middle of the pack in the SEC.
Maybe.
And they're probably the third best team in the ACC.
Yeah,
they are the third best team in the ACC.
Someone said 100% Butch was there. Oh, man. And I know it's probably hard to talk crap right now because same thing happened with Jeremy Pruitt, but golly. At least Jeremy Pruitt was a defensive coordinator. Ugh, Butch is such a loser. He's just a loser. And I don't mean he's a loser. I mean, he loses at everything he does.
He does.
He's a loser. That's so bad, dude.
Dude, you're a head coach. Go.
And you're not important to the game plan. I don't even understand how he's allowed to be on the sidelines. I guess analysts are always on the sidelines, and I just don't notice because typically they don't get ESPN camera time, but Jimmy Cheek's working that camera for him. It's nuts. Yeah. Okay, the college football play is bullcrap. I don't even know if I'm going to enjoy watching it.
Yeah, it's kind of dumb. I would like to see A&M because I think A&M's a really good football team. Mm-hmm. I think they're better. They are a better team than Notre Dame. They would beat Notre Dame.
I agree. And well, yeah. Did Notre Dame get the nod over A&M because the committee's already seen A&M and Alabama?
Probably.
I guess at least that's kind of fair. Like, I guess you could justify A&M not being there because you've already lost to the number one team. Like, you've gotten your chance.
But do we really want a third matchup between Notre Dame and Clemson?
I don't.
I mean, it's not
disagree.
going to happen, but
No.
potentially it could.
No, I agree. Someone said go back to the Najee run and watch him on the sideline. It was disgusting. Dude, he's a loser. Butch Jones is a loser.
I'll punch him right in the nose. There's two people I'll punch in the face I ever saw in person, Butch Jones and Skip Bayless. 100%.
Dude, if I'm Catholic high school, I would have never put his name on. I don't care how much money you gave me.
They
The
probably
University
took it
of
off.
Tennessee gifted us this money,
They
not
probably
you.
took it off now.
I don't know, dude. I doubt it. It's been up there for
Hopefully
2 years now.
T.
a year
Martin's
and a
just
half.
like, dude, no. I'm paying. Get that crap off.
Chris said his beef with the college ball playoff was not A&M. It's Cincy outside the top 6. Honestly, haven't looked at it. Have you? Had the rankings other than the top 4?
Cincinnati 6?
No, out of the top 6.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they are. I think they're 7. I don't think it changed.
What do you think about Nick Saban saying that he wouldn't have put Ohio State in? I agree with him, but I knew it wasn't going to happen.
Right. And from what I watched yesterday from them, Texas A&M could beat them too.
Yeah, probably. Dude, just
Florida could beat them. That was a really good game. Florida is a shoe away
yeah.
from probably being and they lost to Texas A&M, but I'm not positive.
If you play
Kyle
Alabama
Pitts-
that close,
Kyle Pitts did not play all those games this season. If he does, they're probably undefeated going into
it.
SEC.
If they play Alabama that close last night, do they get the nod over Notre Dame?
If what?
There's no way. 8-3. There's no way.
No, there's no.
No, you couldn't
Wait.
justify that.
Wait, if they did win?
No. It's just they played. So they beat A&M or beat LSU. One or the other. So they're 8. They would have been 8-2 today. Played Alabama that close. Do they get the nod? I don't think so. I think the committee goes, you lost your playoff.
They probably would have to win.
Which would be fine. That's fine with me saying that. Yeah.
Just like if Notre Dame would have beat Clemson yesterday, they would have been out. Or should have been.
Should have been. Should have. Dude, here's the thing. You can't get it right with 4. You probably... I don't know if you could get it right with 8, but dude, the college ball playoffs is still suck just as much as the BCS.
Yeah.
Like, you haven't made it better.
Yeah, just... It's usually the 2 best teams, pretty much.
Yeah, you haven't made
Except for that one year where Ohio State won it. I think they were the number 4 seed at that point.
You haven't made it better. So why? I don't know.
But yeah,
Whatever.
it's going to be Clemson, Alabama pretty much every year.
Oh, God. At least Clemson doesn't look like...
Now, one year it's not. It's LSU.
Yeah. Yeah. I just mean, I don't think there's been... It's typically been the 2 best. Or it's been at least the best team that's won it. If not the 2 best teams in the final.
I just don't understand, if you're comparing, you're like, okay, are we going to put 2 SEC teams in or 2 ACC teams in? What makes you think, probably the 2 ACC teams are in the best top 4? I just don't understand that. I'll never understand it. And when the SEC continues to win pretty much year in and year out.
And I think losses matter. And I don't think earlier losses should weigh less than late losses. But I think Texas A&M has just 1 loss. So that matches Notre Dame's 1 loss. And then you go off eye test. And A&M just looks better.
Yeah, the way that they lost. I mean, it was, 52-24 or something, or 56-24 is what they lost to Alabama. But, I mean, Notre Dame didn't even look competitive against Clemson.
No, not at all. Not at all. All right. Let's do a little recap here. Get your champs, top 5, Power 5, 2 best Power 5. So get your... That's what Chris said. Because I believe 18 would be best. I believe 18 would be best. Get your Power 5 winners. Mm-hmm. Get your best of Group 5. And then...
At large.
what would that be? 2 at-large. And then 2 at-large bids. The thing is there's always going to be that team that's left out, and I understand that. And I think Group of 5 should have to be like a top 10 ranked team. If it's out of that, then you just go at large.
They got to be undefeated.
Yeah. I think if it's...
And have some decent...
I also think the Group of 5 and Power 5 should play for their own national championship. The Group of 5 is useless. Like, just let them play for their own national... You have a Division 2, you have a Division 1 FCS. Just let them play for their own... Do it the same way. Do a 4-team, 8-team playoff. Whatever.
Yeah.
Like, why not?
Yeah, it showed this year, like...
You would tune in for a 4-team Group of 5 playoff. You would watch UCF, Cincinnati, Coastal, 100%. And Liberty play.
So you think do 4 and 4?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Or you could do 4 and 8. Do your Power 5 winners and then do your 3 at-large bids. Or you could do
But you're
6.
always going to get that... The one team who wins it, you're going to be like, oh, they could have been in the Power 5 one too.
Well, then join a Power 5 conference. Get invited to a Power 5 conference.
That's true. I agree.
But yeah, I think...
Yeah, I do like the 4 and 4.
So, I just don't understand. You've... over and over, you've admit... Because there have been some good Group of 5 teams that, while you know they would get beat, you're sitting here going, they're undefeated, they've beaten some good teams, they should have a chance. But they're never given a chance. So it's like... Just give them a chance to win it, just like you give Division 2 and Division 1 FCS. Give them a chance to win something.
Yeah, you're never going to be... I mean, it's proven with UCF, it's proven with Cincinnati, Coastal this year. You're never going to get in the top 4.
No, they're always playing either meaningless games or spoiler games. They're never going to get a chance to play a game that matters.
Yeah, your strength of schedule is just never going to be up to what the Power 5 is.
So just separate them.
Yep.
Just separate them. They can still play each other. You play FCS teams all the time. Just separate them. It's dumb.
Yep.
It is dumb.
I agree.
Because I would love to see those national championship teams in those guys.
Yep.
I mean, it'd be fun. But all right, college football roundup, guys. I'm so sorry about the locks this week. We'll get better. I apologize. We just got wrecked. I'm sorry. Oregon beat USC 31-24 to win the Pac-12. Did we mention this? How neither team won, or it went different team for the North, South, and then...
Yeah, we did. We talked about it on our Keys to the Game yesterday.
So they play Friday night? Yeah, they played Friday night. Okay. Texas A&M obviously beat Tennessee. Should have been the college football playoff. Tennessee didn't get to play spoiler. Kind of did, I guess. 34-13. Alabama and Florida in the SEC championship ended up being a really, really good game.
Barn burner,
thought
baby.
For a minute it wouldn't, but 52-46. Florida had a phenomenal second half.
They did.
Phenomenal second half. Number 3 Clemson, 34-10 over number 2 Notre Dame. Northwestern almost just made the Big Ten look stupid. I was rooting for Northwestern, man.
Oh, too.
22-10, lost to Ohio State. Number 10 Oklahoma, 27 Iowa State, 21. What'd you think about Matt Campbell losing his mind though? Did that make you? You're like, what the crap?
Yeah.
Was he right?
Probably.
So I agree with the rule where, like, you usually got to see somebody get touched or an offensive lineman move or an offensive player move. You had, 3 guys jump off sides, though, in that? And did any of them... I thought once you come... If you're a defensive lineman, if you come in the neutral zone, that's almost always going to get flagged, no?
Yeah, like if... My thing is, like, if you jump... If you, like... It's just like a sudden move.
And get back in time.
But if you're jumping across the line and then jumping back, dude, that's a flag.
And you just got lucky you got in a gap.
Yeah.
And also, the tight end would normally get flagged. Did you see him? Would normally get flagged for a false start. So it did make the tight end move.
Yeah.
So why? I don't know. He had a reason to.
It happened in the Tennessee game. They jumped 2 feet across the line and jumped back, and our offensive line didn't move, and we didn't snap it. But dude, that's a flag.
Yeah. I mean, there's just not a consistent. I guess it can be determined a judgment call because it doesn't always take an offensive line moving for that flag to get thrown.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't always take the snap for that flag to get thrown.
Because usually, like, if you don't snap it, there's that, like, move like, hey, are you going to call that?
Yeah.
Like, he just literally almost touched me.
Yeah. No, it's... But yeah, he did look a little insane. Number 9, Cincinnati gets a win over number 23, Tulsa, 27-24 in the American Athletic Conference Championship game. San Jose State, number 24, San Jose State, 34, Boise State, 20. I'm sorry, guys. Those locks got ate up. I do
Boise
apologize.
State killed me.
They've been able to score this year. I guess that snow game at Wyoming slowed them down last week. Mississippi State, 51. Missouri, 32. What the F?
Yeah, Missouri messed me up too.
Oh, and then what do you think about LSU? 2 weeks in a row getting the win over Kiffin. LSU 53, Ole Miss 48.
Barn burner, baby.
Good Lord, dude. What is going on?
Just offense.
I got killed in picks this week. I got killed in betting. Absolutely killed.
Yep. Rough week in betting.
Yes.
Rough weekend, I guess. I had a good day today.
Good. I didn't bet any NFL. So, I did do one of Grit's.
Any more losses? Or you're just done.
Yeah, I did do one of Grit's touchdown parlays, but it lost yesterday when Stephon Diggs didn't score. So,
Nice.
Yep.
Most important?
Most important. Let's do it. Let's get it. Oh no. Okay. What you got?
I thought I had one.
What is this?
Oh, we did forget to mention JG entered the transfer portal.
JGD did enter the transfer portal.
You surprised?
Nope.
I'm not either. I think he's leaving. Where do you think he goes? Do you think he ends up with old Butch Jonesboro?
I can't. There's no way they had a good relationship after 17. There's no way. My first one, Shiner High Schools. Doug Brooks, he had a day. Did you see this in this Texas State Championship game?
I know Doug Brooks.
You know Doug Brooks?
Well,
Doug Brooks?
He was on Friday Night Tykes.
Wow, I didn't know that show was that old.
Yeah.
So he blocked a punt, recovered in the end zone. He then carried a teammate onto that was last. Carried a teammate onto the field for the final snap, had broken foot, broken ankle, something like that, in a cast, brought him out for the final snap. And then he stripped the QB and would have ran it back for a fumble 6 and handed it to a teammate to score. So just selfless, man. Just share. He was just sharing the love in the state championship game.
Yeah, in Friday Night Tykes, they called him Big Daddy.
Big Daddy?
Because he was huge. And he ran the football.
He is a big dude.
He's a guy that, they had to take every bit of clothing pretty much off of him to weigh in, so he didn't get the green X on his helmet. Because he was huge.
Yeah, no, that's a big dude.
And he's still huge. I mean, where's number 1? And it's a small number 1.
I love big guys with single digits.
Yeah, love it. Trey Smith.
Love him.
Just his career is most important for me.
Yep.
Hate to see him go, but I'm excited to see where his career kind of plays out in the NFL.
Yeah. Any team's going to be lucky to get him.
Yep.
Any team.
Great locker room guy. Great. Just a guy to be around. A great leader.
Yeah.
Has been a great ambassador for Tennessee.
Absolutely. My last most important, General Booty. General Booty. Great name. Quarterback at Allen High School. I don't know where he signed with. Thought I had it. I can look it up real quick. But he did sign to play college football, so you're going to get some more General Booty in the future. Not just General Booty in high school. Great name. That's a 5-star name. I don't know what his final rating was, but that name should have helped him get to.
I don't think he's a 2-star.
2-star? Who did he sign with? Liberty? Is that who he signed with? No.
I don't think he's signed yet.
Okay. I thought he signed on early signing day. They had his name all over the board. Oh, I didn't realize he was from California.
Okay.
Or
Allen, Texas? Isn't that where Kyler Murray went?
he played at San Juan Capistrano as a junior. And looks like he played Allen his senior year.
General Booty, love it. My next one is, or actually this is a fail.
Okay.
The Jets won. Why did you win? Because now if the Jaguars and them lose out, the Jaguars gets the number 1 pick.
I haven't seen the Jaguars schedule, but I'm going to guess they will not.
Yeah, they got blown out today by the Ravens. So, yeah, the Jets, I mean, I guess you try to win every game, but man, you're going to get Trevor Lawrence kind of gifted to you, and now it's like, why did we do that? It was so dumb. It was a meaningless game. It just ruined it.
I do have one more most important. I apologize. I have one more. This one is from Cody Lowe. I believe he's the girls' head coach at Cosby High School basketball. In an interview with the Newport Plain Talk, he said, "We're 7 points away from being undefeated. With 2 losses to a pair of Class 3A schools," Lowe said. That's something Butch Jones would probably say, but it's true, and I don't think we played our best ball yet. We're not close to our ceiling and have a long way to go, but I'm proud of our girls' effort and their resolve.
Dang.
I love it.
Butch Jones.
Talking about those Cosby Eagles and throwing a little shade towards Butch Jones. I think Cosby had a pretty big run to the state tournament last year, if I remember correctly.
So I got one more fail.
Love the shade. Okay, I've got 2 fails. One of them's actually involving Butch Jones.
Okay, nice. So you're just loving Butch Jones today.
Oh, big Butch Jones guy.
Big guy. Big 5-star hearts guy. The Patriots have been eliminated from the playoffs.
Golly.
11-year streak has ended.
I really thought with Cam Newton they would at least be able to be competitive.
Yeah.
I guess they've been competitive, but not enough to make the playoffs.
Yeah, didn't happen.
I've got Clay Keaton. I think he was an offensive lineman at UT. This really goes on Butch Jones, though, but I'm going to read his quote because a lot of people were hating it. Man, if you're hating on this man for getting a little emotional when thanking the people who helped him bounce back, then you're sorry as hell. Best wishes and good luck, Butch Jones. You saw the video of his press conference, right? Almost crying.
Yes.
Good for him getting another job. But, come on. We got to look at the situation for what it is. He's 2 months away from losing his buyout check, and all of a sudden he gets another job. You don't think this has come open in the last 2 years?
Oh, yeah.
He didn't get a job at a Power 5 school, guys. He wasn't holding out.
No.
He went from being an analyst. It's not like he was even on staff at all. If he's a wide receiver coach at Alabama, whatever. But he wasn't even on staff.
Nope.
He didn't bounce back. It's stupid. You got any more?
Yeah, I do. Just the Atlanta Falcons just blowing another lead to Tom Brady up 17-0 at the half and lose that one, I think, 31-24.
Oh, good. Good for them.
Yeah. Just doing what they do.
Absolutely. My next one, man, poor Rod Hicks. Rod Hicks, so WNML does a week or a contest every week. If you pick the right score, you win a Ford F-150 from Ted Russell Ford, $45,000 Ford F-150. Do you know what Rod Hicks' score guess was?
What?
Texas A&M 34, Tennessee 14. He would have won a truck.
Dang it, Toby.
If not for that stupid upright.
Oh, man.
That's nuts. That is crazy. I'm sure the insurance would have somehow gotten out of it, but it would have been fun to at least save for a day.
Yep. We'll just pay a buyout.
Exactly. You got any more?
That's all I got.
One more. My boy, Fourth and Truth is back.
Oh, God. No.
Source. And I think we had a question about this.
No.
Sort of.
Let's just know.
No. You need to hear this.
No, I've seen it, and I don't
Source.
have anything to do with
Former Vols. Guys, this guy's being serious. He tweets all day at like Dave Portnoy. Former Vols QB Jarrett Garantano's father, James, allegedly handed over text messages and other damning evidence to UT compliance officials, which led to computers and other documents being obtained by UT to give to the NCAA for investigation. That man tweeted that. Okay. He's being serious.
Now my list has gone to 3 people I would punch in the face if I ever saw in person.
I mean, that man is nuts. That he, the only reason he deleted it is because James Garantano tweeted back at him.
Dude's such a...
Because he doesn't delete most of his tweets.
Oh, what a moron.
So you got any questions? Because I think we had one kind of related to that, and I didn't want to make fun of it.
It was something about making fake accounts.
It's like, why would someone make fake accounts and tweet news out? I think those are funny when they're serious, obviously fake accounts.
Yeah, when there's a guy on Twitter right now, his name is Mo Lester. Yeah, that's hilarious. But let's not create a stupid outlet and think you're an actual media presence.
That's the difference between that one and Fourth and Truth. That guy's obviously fake.
Yeah,
and he's trying to get people. This guy's let's just make up some absurd thing to get retweets.
Yeah. Or it's the link to the article and it's a picture of some big dude that's naked. Yeah, it's funny.
Did you fall for it when I sent that to you?
I didn't actually click on it. I brought it up last night. It was so did you see where that girl's in a coma? That nurse is in a coma. And they're like, what? They're like, did you click the link? I was like, no.
So everybody saw it?
Yeah.
So I ended up getting a couple people then. That was awesome. Okay. Good.
I mean, you kind of got me without getting me. So
I got you. And I got other people because I got you. That's awesome. If y'all want me to send you that link, just DM me. I'll send it to you.
I was like, I don't know why people. I was like, I understand why people be scared because like apparently some girl's in a coma because she took the vaccine. Apparently it's a fake.
Yeah, I mean. Maybe. Oh, we're back. Sorry. My computer just froze. That is perfect timing. We've been on here for a while. We're still frozen? All right, Landon. I'm going to let you bring the boat in. Hold on a second. Go ahead whenever you're ready. It might be shaky at the end, but they'll get the point.
Okay. Guys, appreciate you tuning in. Go check us out on Volunteer Roadshow. Also, More Important Issues on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, everything like that. We're on there. Spotify, Google Play. That's all we got. Guys,
Basketball season?
it's basketball season. And we might have a coaching search, so there's something to talk about too. We're bringing